What's up guys, thanks for tuning in. What I have for you are 5 tips for beginners in Black Ops 4. It's going to be pretty tough if you just jump into the game. If you haven't played like myself, I'm not familiar with first-person shooter games, so definitely, hopefully these things will help you out. First thing I would go ahead and recommend is go check out the Specialist HQ. Okay, it's going to give you tutorials on all the specialists in the game. It'll tell you what their special abilities are and some more information about them as far as what their loadout is. Also, there are tutorials for each specialist where you can go ahead and practice how to use their special abilities, on when it's a good time, the advantages of it. You also will be able to play a team deathmatch with each specialist after you complete the tutorial, where you can kind of use that practice in a little bit more of like a game-like feel. You'll notice in the tutorials things go really slow and it's impossible to really make mistakes, but it's a great way to feel the game and get familiar with yourself and some of these specialists. I also recommend that you go out and find a couple favorites, because when you go to online, if somebody picks your favorite specialist, then that means that you're going to be kind of out of luck and have to pick somebody else. So go ahead and get familiar with different specialists so that you can be a little bit more versatile and help your team, and also take advantage of these tutorials so you're not the guy, like say for instance with Crash, doesn't know what he's doing and your teammates really relying on you to resupply them with their ammo and health. So I definitely recommend you going to take advantage of these tutorials so that when you do get in on the online multiplayer games, that you'll know what to expect and your teammates can kind of count on you and you can actually have a little bit more success. So next up on the list we have practice and maps, and what I mean by that practice is go into multiplayer, go to custom game, and you can go ahead and select all the different maps on the in the game. You can also select all the different types of like team deathmatches, the captures, so you can kind of get familiar with the objectives and get more familiar with the game to give yourself a chance to be more successful. Now you can go in and you can create a custom game with just yourself, so you can kind of run around the map, learn the layout, learn where the ambush points are, where the strongholds are, and all that type of stuff. You can also go ahead and load in some computer bots, so you can change the difficulty from easy to difficult, and go ahead and get familiar with weapons, the maps, and just go ahead and just practice a little bit. You can play with your friends, like I said, you can go by yourself or just put some bots in there. It's a great way to get familiar with the weapons and the layout of the game. So the next one we have up is going to be two of them together. It's aim and sensitivity. Sensitivity I'm going to go into first really quickly. I mean, sensitivity is like any kind of shooter game. They're all going to be different, and it's all based on your own preference. Higher sensitivity, you're going to be able to look around a lot quicker, but it's going to be tough if you're struggling with your aim. So one thing I wanted to go ahead and show you some things that people do. Don't go around a turn and just like blindly be looking. Another thing, make sure you have your cursor kind of in the middle of the screen, somewhere about rib to chest, maybe head high, so when you come around the corners that you have a good chance to actually get off a couple shots and have them land instead of getting killed yourself. So what we're going to try here is we're going to go ahead and aim down sight. We're just practicing really slow. I kind of know these guys are here. Obviously my teammates are taking fire, so I'm already going to have my sight pretty much lined up as soon as I come around this corner, and I'm just going to start picking up a target and laying into them. And I'm just going to keep practicing this a couple times. Okay, obviously you don't want to come around the turn, like I said, with your cursor looking down or up. You want to have it in an area, especially if you're familiar with the map, where you know people are going to be. So for this one right here, you got another type of peek shooting here. What I'm going to do is use the same thing I did last time. I'm going to come out with my cursor kind of looking around the corner, but as soon as I start to turn the corner, I'm going to unload a couple of shots, so that as I actually turn around the corner and hopefully get somebody in sight, so there's going to be a couple bullets coming at him instead of just having to go find somebody and then react. Once you play against good players, you're going to notice that you're going to need to use a lot of different techniques. A lot of times as soon as you peek, you're dead, so you have to have a couple bullets coming at them to kind of slow them down. So the last thing we're going to go ahead and cover is know your weapons. Again, you can go into the custom games and go ahead and learn the differences between all the rifles and the scopes, the clips, the mags, everything that's going to give you an advantage. Just know that when you do start out playing online multiplayer, you will start out with like basically nothing, and as you play you start to unlock some of the assault rifles and some of the sniper rifles and light machine guns and those types of things. Also, there's perks that you can go ahead and pick. Everything does unlock obviously as you play, so it's really important to know which perks you're getting, which specialist equipment you're going to pick, what rifle fits you. You can go ahead and look at the stats when you pick up the rifles and see the range, the distance, the damage, fire rate, all that type of stuff, and you can go ahead and mix that with some of those practices on those custom games, and go ahead and check to see. Some guns have a high fire rate but don't do that much damage, and some guns have a lower fire rate and do a bit more damage. And you'll know if you can, get your timing and your aim pretty good, you can go ahead and mess around with some of the guns to make yourself more versatile. So you also have the option, you can go in to customize the colors for your guns and put some decals. And if I was going to throw in another tip, I would say just be aware there's always people trying to kill you, so always kind of look around and know your surroundings. But I do want to remind you guys that we'll be hosting a Black Ops 4 tournament coming up pretty soon. If you're interested, go ahead and leave a comment. Hopefully these tips helped. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.